Okay, this is a quick little experiment about something gone bad, but lessons still can be learned. All right, years ago, I have had this old bottle of clear medium liquid polyclay, and I know I had learned how to do some really interesting transfers with it. It really works great, or it did back then, so I was trying to replicate what I knew well over 20 years ago. Anyway, I found this great magazine, and this is the part that went bad, because I will say that up front so you all will know. I had put it on this tile, the project that I'm working on, you'll see in a minute, and had accidentally bumped up my convection oven, unbeknownst to me, to about 400 degrees. Really, I can't believe I did that. Thank goodness I did not leave it unattended, because I set the timer for like 45 minutes, which is my normal curing time. So, but I put it in there, and I also, to make matters worse, this tile was on the upper shelf, which gets even hotter. I had some things on the bottom shelf, and they cured just fine. I'll show you in a minute, but this oven temperature gauge now is set to 250 or 275, yeah. And it had gotten bumped way up over here, so it was like maybe 400. Anyway, way too hot. So I had some things on the bottom shelf curing, and by the way, here's the piece that I made. Believe it or not, I put the UV resin on and coat it while the clay is still raw. And it's really, and it baked in this god-awful hot oven. I did lose the pieces that were on the top. They baked to a crisp. I mean, a brown-black crisp. But these are okay, and they have the UV resin already on it. So that's, I like to do that. I haven't figured out why, because you certainly could do it after it's baked. But anyway, this is the UV resin covered piece that I plan to put on a chain. And believe it or not, despite the disaster on my other project, that turned out fine, which is great, because I really like that piece. So anyway, back here are the remnants. I've got a razor blade, and I'm busy cleaning this off. So you can see, well, what happened is, okay, now, this was the tile upon which I put this magazine piece that I wanted to transfer. So this is coming off, fortunately. And then I slathered it with the liquid polyclay, and this is probably 20 years old as well. And then I put it in this oven at the wrong temperature. Fortunately, it created quite an awful smell, and I thought it was normal, but then I checked, and the things on the top were crispy black. Now, but not the transfer. What happened, I'm back over here to the magazine. I have this old, everything is old in this house. Anyway, an old veranda magazine. Let's see, what's the date? Anyway, let's see, I can't even find the date, but it's old, very old. Anyway, one of the pages had this beautiful, and I may even do these because they're awfully pretty, aren't they? Anyway, one of the pages had this really gorgeous tile. The part that I cut out did not have this brown piece on it. So anyway, I'm in the middle now of washing it. Here's my sink. And I have not finished, but I just wanted to show you. Of course, I got all this burned stuff on there. It almost looks like antiquing, right? So, but what I've done now, I let it cool, and what I'm in the process of doing, I put it in a dish with water, and I let it soak. I'm holding the camera, so I can't show you, but I just then rub my fingers along the paper, and everything that's white disappears, and this becomes a clear piece of Kato liquid poly clay that has picked up the ink from that old magazine. Of course it has, let me show you on a piece of white. Let's see, it's going to look very antique-y if I had a piece of white clay. I haven't finished doing it down here, only up here. So as you can see, but it does look like an antique piece, because you can see my fingers behind the part that I have. See, I have a finger down there and you can't see through because I haven't finished yet. But what I'm doing is busy wiping it all off. Now I wish I had not burned it, because it would be really beautiful, but it's still pretty, I think. Okay, what I can do now, after I get this all off, I can apply it to white clay, or any other color if I want, but white seems to be what I was kind of going for. I'm trying to get some more of the paper off the back. Let me show you the back. Okay, so bottom part is clear to include the burning. There's my fingers, and the paper is still including the back of the magazine. So with just a little bit of work, I will have this all done. And let me throw it in the water some more. And I will have a clear, transparent, beautiful transfer of the colored ink, and can now cut it up or apply it directly to my clay projects and bake it, because this liquid polyclay is cured, but will bake. Now I have to think about this for a minute and see if I need to use Bacon Bond or some, maybe another thin liquid of polyclay would do it. The beauty is it's already glazed, because this is the back side, which would go down. Okay, and then this would be the front. Pardon me, because I'm holding the camera with my right hand and it's sticking. But then this is the front side. I wish I had not burned it, but it will look ancient, like an ancient tile instead of a new tile. So yes, my experiment 20 years ago has been recalled, and I don't think this will work with inkjet printed paper, but I haven't tried it. I might give a go. I have an Epson inkjet printer, and I understand their inks are not as they don't smear as much, maybe, or at all, with they don't smear as much as do other inkjets. Certainly a laser transfer would work this way. So anything that you print off a laser transfer. But getting bits and pieces of great magazines, one magazine, or catalogs would work as well. You can just pick up a snippet of a pattern off of almost anything. It doesn't have to be, you know, a design. But look at the detail that I got. Let's see if I can get some white paper. It's all yellow because of the burning, which now I've got this paper stuck to the bottom. I'm trying to do this with one hand. Not really easy. And my left hand at that, by the way. So I'm right-handed. I'm holding the camera. Let's see if I can... nothing to lay this camera on. My phone. But anyway, that's what you get. And I thought it might be helpful. Let's see. I mean, you really can. It is clear. I mean, you can just see how clear it is. If I hadn't burned it. Let me get this paper off.